this on my mind, so I had to put this down, you feel me? I'm just gonna give it to you. I don't know what city this is going on, you feel me? But the robot was speaking, so I had to let it go, you hear me? Real talk, listen. My people think I joined the cult, they think I'm losing it. They got their Bibles, but their Bibles they ain't using it. They go to church every Sunday, but look, it's useless. I read the scriptures and they understand it's due to let you take care of me. They say pray to Jesus, but he can't compete. They claim to have wisdom, but they just out cheap. But watch, that's my wisdom. She's
This is also a list of places in the world that contain an obelisk.
That's right, yes.
None of them look like where we're from. There are pretty much no people of color in the vast majority of all these places. I'd say 100% of them.
100% of them.
100%. So, yeah, yeah. When it comes to you, when it comes to you, when it comes to
Fear no evil.
With me, that rod, thy staff, they comfort me. Ezekiel 20:37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. You can call me a musketeer, cause me, I keep my sword on me. Why I look so military? Cause I'm knowing it's a war, homie.
It's a war,
Why
homie.
there's a serpent in the south is a dove? Cause I know your sight of Christ is what that is
And what that was.
will be.
Yeah.
Keep me, so I stay hard with conviction.
Yeah. To eradicate his children. Yes, do what my father said. Every day is my father's day. What my mama said, my mama said what the pastor said. Pastor said.
no one.
Follow no one. Follow no one. No one to take care of. Self-sufficient. Made by the Most High. You know. A higher assure. A higher. Made by a higher assure. A higher the Most High. Burned by that Ruach HaKodesh in the furnace through that discipline. Come out shining like gold. Yes, about shining like gold. Yeah.
Okay, it's time to praise and worship now.
Praise and worship.
Most High, you know. You know what my heart said every day.
Every day.
For you, everything I do is for you.
Everything we do is for you.
When they talk about now and all that stuff and the chaos, stuff in the chaos,
Yeah.
they're talking about this. They think they're original. Doesn't work that way. It's all appropriated.
All appropriate. Welcome.
Man, I used to be in the flesh.
Used to be in his flesh.
Heard about it, that's all I knew. I know you was winking at me. But I'm open now, I see.
Woke
I got
now.
you.
See. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. And we are your humble servants. and host for the night.
Yes.
I am Kyle.
And I am Oba.
Yes,
Welcome.
we are. Yes, welcome to Cultural Appropriation Wednesday night. Yeah, everybody that's been following the Wednesday night is the night we rumble. We rumble on Wednesday nights.
My favorite night.
Yes, you
That's
know,
my favorite night.
tonight is not the night for
The faint of
delicate
heart.
sensitivities or faint of heart. We're going to go into origins and source information, right? We talk about source information here all the time. We're like, when we say we're seeking the Most High's face, if we could put our earthly definition to seeking his face, I would say, and I don't want to speak for my brother, I would say in searching for his face, you are searching for the absolute beginning.
Yes. You can speak for me on that.
I can speak for you on that one.
You
Thank
can
you, my
speak for
brother.
me on that.
So you're
Yes.
looking for the absolute beginning. You know, the same thing that the scientists at CERN are looking for right now. The thing that all nations have put millions and millions of dollars in to figure out what happened when them atoms, when creation
Ooh, Adam.
starts. When atom is split, right? That's what the
That name is
particle
important.
accelerator is about, right?
Yes, it is.
The particle accelerator is about splitting the atoms to see how an atom is formulated, because the atom is the beginning of all molecular structures. Am I correct by that?
Yes. Yes. It's the root, if you will.
You've heard the atom bomb, right? They dropped that on Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person that, you know, looks into these conspiracy theories, you'll find that they had two ways that they were going to bomb Hiroshima. If Hiroshima didn't, the bomb, the atom splitting didn't work, then they were going to send a submarine over there and was going to blow it up.
Yeah.
Even though they had already negotiated the surrender.
They were planning to tear it down no matter what.
Tear it down. Because see, there's this thing about wars. And a quickie little side note. Because everything tonight is about Adam. The beginning, the source. But just as a side note, why would they bomb some place that's already going to surrender and you've already won the war? Well, there's a thing called rules of engagement, rules of war. So if I bomb and tear down your place and you are now surrendered to me, then I get contracts to my people here in America to rebuild your place like America. And might just put an obelisk there. Oh, we're dropping hints, we're dropping hints, we're dropping hints.
You know
we're
what?
dropping
That's how you
hints.
prove who you are,
Yeah, you
right?
gotta put
You got to set
stamp.
up your monument. You got to set up your monument, right? You put on your stamp.
Stamp. Now, some of you guys out here are true historians and you know the many world wars. So just as a teaser to where we're going with this, obelisk has a lot to do with the word atom. We'll get into that later. But we're talking war and the money of war. See, we are told in history that our country makes money on war through us preparing for it. That our country is creating jobs by manufacturing the war machines or the vehicles or taking the nurses and the money. All these things are supposedly how we generate money and through our economy and war. But what they don't tell you is what the politicians get on the other side of winning that war. See, there has to be an incentive to go to war.
Yes.
And we think it's over territories. Well,
That's what we're told in order to use our tax dollars.
Our taxes. Oh, it's over religious, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something to do with religion. Constraints, Somebody don't want you to pray the way you want to
Nah,
pray.
they
You
got
think they're the
Muslims
devil,
blowing
whatever
stuff up.
it is.
Ah,
Yeah.
sure.
So that's not the only way. See, that meant these high up people, Halliburton, for example,
Ooh,
is
Dick.
a prime example. Old Dick.
The dick,
The Dick
of
of
all
dicks.
dicks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cheney, that would be, right? See, we have a little thing because this is something that happens through war, that it is stipulated that the president or the vice president can't directly benefit from the rebuilding of these places. But Halliburton is owned by Dick Cheney. And Dick, with that whole Middle East, Iran, all that, everything got bombed. Dick sent Halliburton over to rebuild everything.
Dick got real
Got
wealthy.
rich.
He was
Dick
already
got
wealthy.
rich.
Super rich.
Dick got rich.
And I don't know if you know this, but Obama's related through Dick Cheney's bloodline, his family, his mom's side of the family, and Cheney
Not
are,
Obama.
are related.
Not
Just in
my
case
Obama.
You was wondering
my
where Mr.
Obama.
Bama came from.
Not my Obama.
That's his family, right? Yeah.
So
Gonna break your heart.
tonight we're talking about source information, right? And we're talking about the atom. That's a science aspect, right?
Oh, yes.
But we're the Hebrew State of Being show. So obviously we gotta take that science and turn it back to scripture, the source scripture.
Yes, the source.
Oh, the Torah. That's source.
Get back to it.
Oh, that first AD source, about 150 them
Ooh,
Dead
the
Sea
Dead
Scrolls.
Sea.
Oh, that's source. We're talking source information. Who had the first book? So before we go into, there's a debate, in our community of Hebrews and even in the biblical ones about this character named Enoch, right? Enoch. Ooh. See, that was pre-Abraham, you know what I mean?
Long time
Yeah, that's pre-biblical, right? Even though he's referenced in the Torah, he's before the Torah. Something
Yeah.
before the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, Moshe,
Yes.
as our Aztecs say, Moshe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a book before the Torah that every religion has built its religion on. Its dogma would be the correct word.
Yeah.
It's dogma. So there's, before the stuff that they have created all of their dogma over, you're saying there's another information before that? Well, that's what source information does, or any information, they revert back to the source.
Yes.
So the Torah references Enoch. The source. Source reference. Source reference. So, but through all of this hocus pocus, magic, they've hijacked, as we say, or culturally appropriated Enoch. Call it Enochian magic. Created by John D., the cohort of Sir Francis
Bacon!
the abomination.
Swine man himself.
Sir Francis Bacon, the abomination. Yes, we have a whole new character. Y'all want to Dr. Evil? Oh no. Dr. Evil ain't got nothing
Not
on
even
Sir
close.
Francis Bacon, the abomination.
Oh, wait.
So, the Enochian magic is what they labeled once they conjured up an evil spirit. The evil spirit gave them a rock. Does that sound familiar?
A rock. I wonder who else
Does
prays
that
to a
sound-
rock
who
or
prays
kisses
to
a rock.
Who walks around a rock? I don't know. Anyway, so in the Enochian, John D. Britain, this is England's foundation. John D. made it the Enochian magic, which means it's the light. It means the light of the inner eye, or the the initiated ones through the magic, believed to be given to them by angels.
Wonder what kind of angels?
They don't specify the angels. I mean, the Torah,
It would have to be the fallen ones.
it had to be, because see, the Torah and Enoch specifically names the Most High as angels.
Yeah.
We don't have any question of who the angels are that are the Most High. So if they can't give you an angel's name,
Fallen.
so as you guys are out there searching for, information and the power, and you're dealing with the Kabbalah and the Kundalini, and you're trying to reach these spirits, you're not the first one. You're not the first one that strive for that extra knowledge. Not wisdom, but knowledge. And most seek the knowledge to subdue men. I mean, just look at the fruits of their labor.
Ooh.
I mean, we could philosophize on what they were thinking when they did it, but the fruits of the labor has been an oppressive society that worships devil, the Satan, Hashatan, under his chief prince, Magog, excuse me, not under his chief prince, Gog. So when we say source information, that's what we're connecting. Who in the beginning said what, who did what, and what came from that. So that alleviates the philosophizing of if it's good or if it's bad, or he used it. Yeah, it was bad, but they used it for good. That one time.
Yeah.
That one time. So back to source information. Enochian, John D., Sir Francis Bacon, the Abomination, came up with our demonic language, because the Enochian magic is what was the initiated ones. It was their inner group that led everyone. They practiced Enochian magic under the helmet of Athena, the Greek god of knowledge, which is also associated with Thoth, the Egyptian god, because we cannot forget that all of Greek mythology comes from Egyptian.
Yes, it does. Yes,
All of it comes from Egyptian.
Alexander the Great.
Yes. See, before Alexander the Great, they were all pagans and Celtics, Vandals, Visigoths. They were all little tribes under the Roman Empire, right? And then came Egypt. And then it all became what?
United. Everybody's come together. Confederate against who? And for what reason?
For what reason?
But they leave their signs everywhere, so they can remind each other where they are.
Through the centuries to come.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're part of a secret society, and you can take someone on a ride and say, you see that building over there, or you see that statue there? That's all us. Nobody knows it, but as you read our doctrines and books, you'll see we built these things for our God, or our order, or our society, like the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, Jesus.
Yes, the Jesuits.
So what are we getting at today? Atom. We have just covered that atoms is the beginning of the molecular structure of everything, physical. Every material, everything that's material, atom, A-T-O-M, is the beginning of all biological things. CERN and all the countries, all the kingdoms of the world have put millions of dollars into CERN to try and figure out the God particle, which is inside the atom. That's why they're trying to split it and find out what happens when creation happens.
Been trying to split atom.
So is that a coincidence that in our scripture, the first thing that the Most High created, his first child, the first son of the Most High, was named Adam? Adam? These things, could make a man just go crazy pondering if he really wants information, and we do. But the Most High, the Ruach HaKodesh, gives us the peace because it should travel on to this Adam aspect, and you see that whether scripture is a parable to you, whether it's literal to you, it all sinks in to the Most High and his words. His words. Regardless of how you want to psychologically break it down, from what angle you want to come from, is it nature before words? Is it scripture, sentences before pictograph? Is it, did the Most High, did Adam have a language and could he write as soon as he was to? We can do all of those things of distraction and ponder for knowledge. But when you are asking for wisdom, you receive that he makes a link for us to follow. Last week we talked about the signs that the Most High leaves for us. And no matter how much the devil, God, the chief prince, Hashatan, does to change those things, or to change them, or to culturally appropriate them and repackage them in their own traditions and dogma, we can still read, if we search, see all of the graham crackers and all of the breadcrumbs that he leaves for us to make these connections. Now, one would say, maybe you just want to make these connections. Well, let's go into that. Let's say we over here as Hebrews are trying to make this connection because we in some type of cult, right? Well, let's look at the other people and see what they've done with this information. Just to be fair, right? To be both sides. If you're looking at us and we're saying that Adam, get the connection, the Most High scriptures, going to the source, Enoch, all these people have used our source information to name everything in science.
Yes, because they have a Greek root word. If you look at it, Latin or Greek. So who's that? Romans or Greeks?
So as much as we want to talk about nature came first, if we're reading about nature, we also have to understand that someone wrote that, and they wrote that from a particular language. And if they wrote it from a particular language, then they wrote it from a particular dogma, an ideology, a spirit, a design. Y'all get where I'm going? Right? So let's look at what the others did with Adam. So we have an ATOM, we have an ADAM, now we have an ATUM. Yes, it's for our hotels.
Yes. Look it up for yourself, guys. ATUM.
ATUM.
Okay. He is the associated with creation. Okay. I'm going to read you a little bit of his history right here so no one's confused. And you could. Well, in Heliopolis was the name of the Lower Egypt capital. 13th
Lower
dynasty.
Egypt.
Lower Egypt.
Now, y'all do know that they flipped it, right? So Lower Egypt means Upper Egypt.
Oh, they're good at that.
Y'all didn't, I don't know if y'all know that, but just to make sure you know, and all our hotels people out there, y'all quick to tell
Y'all
people.
know.
So Lower Egypt is really right there at Mesopotamia. You know.
They get it.
Mediterranean, excuse me, the top Mediterranean.
In Heliopolis, the creation was attributed to Atum, or Atum, right? A-T-U-M. A deity or a god closely associated with Ra, the sun god, who was said to have existed in the waters of Nu as an inert potential being.
That's an inner potential. So he was in the water like an organism, like a tadpole. Like a tadpole just waiting for the right thing to be inserted.
He was just potential. That's why I say potential energy, like the potential. To talk about in science, the potential.
And you know, that's the funny thing about energy when you look at science.
You up,
when you talk about energy, something has to move that energy. See, energy can just stay. They say it can't disappear, but that doesn't mean
It describes the process by which he evolved. So when that evolution comes around, you know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
From a single being into this multiplicity of elements.
Oh, the single being that was just a possible energy that evolved. And I tell you how it evolved, because all scientists tell you something for evolve, you have to add something else into that thing to make it evolve.
Oh, they talk about the process though. I hope, ladies, if you got some kids around, put your hands over the ears.
Yeah.
This isn't the time for them.
No.
Okay, all my Egyptology friends, this is the root of your Egyptology. Okay, the process began. This is Adam's creation process. The process began when Adam appeared on
Atum,
the
Atum.
Atum. Yeah,
Yes.
Let's
This is all.
I'll say Egyptian Adam.
Yeah, let's say Egyptian Adam because this is not ours.
The process began when Egyptian Adam appeared on the mound and gave rise to the air god Shu and his sister Tefnut, whose existence represented the emergence of an empty space amid the waters. So one of them represents the dry air, and one of them represents the moist air, right? So it's like the New Orleans in the desert, pretty much. You know, the moisture and the dry. You get it. To explain how Egyptian Adam did.
They are taking every definition that they make of that God comes from the definition of thought. That's what we mean by they take their gods from Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
The way that they describe their gods and the functionality of their gods all match the definition and functionality of Egyptian gods.
Yes.
That's what we mean by they take their gods.
Copycats.
Yeah. So since they like copying off of each other, what's the symbol of Atum, my brother?
Well, when Adam wanted to be remembered forever, he chose
Egyptian Adam.
the Egyptian Adam. When Egyptian Adam wanted to be remembered forever, he decided to have a temple built to be a living monument, a memory of him, so that all of the people in the world that would come to serve him would know where and how to serve him.
Yes.
And
how to serve
these monuments are actually now built all over the world.
And with these monuments are built for be a place of worship, right? They're built to be worshipped.
Oh
right?
yeah, you have to worship.
Okay.
And sometimes you worship without even knowing. Yeah.
When you maybe hold your hand across your chest and pledge allegiance to.
You don't even realize exactly what you're pledging allegiance to. This is slippery, y'all.
Well, in order for hold up. In their defense, not in my defense, you know. If I'm holding my hand across the chest, then I would have to be facing something that was demonic in order for me to actually feel like I was pledging allegiance to that. So what would that image be or that monument be?
Well, the monument is called the obelisk.
An obelisk?
The obelisk. The obelisk, you've seen it before, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like a giant penis coming out the ground. You've probably seen it before.
Sometimes they call it a capstone because the pyramid cap that's on the top of it, because those capstones are on the pyramids as well, because it's Egyptian.
Yeah.
And wow, why would we have Egyptian monoliths in America and all across the world if Egypt is supposedly no longer here?
Because that's what they say. It's not the reality.
I mean,
it's the okie doke.
We just went through something in New Orleans where we tore down the monuments, right? Because
we didn't really tear down the monuments. Because I tell you what, they give you what they want you to tear down to keep you feeling appeased, right? But the main monument of Andrew Jackson that did the most in New Orleans, who set the law that is still in place till this day, his monument is shining gold.
What did he say before he came here? What did he want for the South?
He wanted the South to be two things. Very, very and uneducated, number one. And number two, to be Catholic.
Wow.
Catholic.
I wonder why he wanted that.
Worshipping deities of wood and stone. Catholic.
And uneducated so that we wouldn't know what we were praising to or...
Well, yeah. Because you can't read. If you can't read, then you can't research. You can't research. You can't get to the root. You can't get to the root. You can't figure out who Egyptian Atum was.
Right.
You can't figure out what the obelisk is. You can't figure out how important that was to Thomas Jefferson. So you could never tear down his monument.
And guess who Thomas Jefferson was, who he idolized?
I'm sorry, Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. Guess who he idolized? Sir Francis
Bacon!
the Abomination!
Bacon worked with him. He worked with him.
Yeah. See, Sir Francis Bacon is the one that wrote the demonic language that we are speaking to this day, the English, the Queen's language. So, his book, The New Atlantis, was his manifesto of making America the new Atlantis through his ideology, rules, and laws. And who he worked with? Andrew Jackson. And Andrew Jackson said he wanted what for? The black, native, Indians, indigenous to this land? Because they're not. They're indigenous to over there.
Yeah.
So, what did he want for us again? Two things?
To be and uneducated. Both, because you need both. I need you to be thinking right is left and left is right. And then I need you to think up and down are completely different. Because then I can tell you where up and where down is, and I can flip the map, and you can not know where you're going.
Where did they get that from? What's that? That's why they got Upper Egypt,
Lower
Egypt is absolutely North Egypt, and Lower Egypt is what?
Yes. And a lot of folks would tell you that Egypt is not even in Africa. A lot of European folks.
Yeah, they even tell you.
They will say, oh no, Egypt is not a part of Africa. With a straight face.
Yeah. You know, just like Jerusalem, Israel is not part of Africa,
No,
but
it's
on
the
the
Middle
same
East.
tectonic
What are
plate.
you talking about, guys?
It's the same tectonic plate as Africa. It's the same continent. Okay? They lie so much. Y'all, they lie so much, y'all.
It's constant.
So we're telling you that your Washington Monument,
Andrew Jackson.
not only is Andrew Jackson still up, but Albert Pike and Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis, no, but Albert Pike is still up. Albert Pike is your dogma Renaissance man for America. After they did it over there, he over here remixed the dogma and got it in.
He is the KKK champion. I mean, at KKK seminars, Albert Pike's picture is held up and people are celebrating.
The same thing that Adam did to do creation, the same thing they do to Albert Pike's
Yeah.
picture.
Oh!
Let's see if my intellectuals caught that one.
Yeah, it's the same family of folks.
Get it? The same family of folks.
Ugh.
So where are these
Obelisks
located, my brother? These Egyptian obelisks that are named and erected for the Egyptian Atum.
Yes, these obelisks. Look them up, ladies and gentlemen. You spell obelisks, Obelisks. Obelisks. Okay? These are the places where you can find the obelisks, right? Mm-hmm. In Egypt, you can find them there. You can find them in Argentina. You can find them in Australia. You can find them in Austria. You can find them in the Czech Republic.
And of course,
Denmark.
Gotta have
you can find them there. You can find them in Ethiopia, and they were brought there by the European. Mm-hmm. You can find them in France. You can find them in Germany. You can find them in Ireland.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can find them in Israel now. Oh,
Yes.
yes. You can find them in Italy. You can find them in Latvia.
Yes.
You can find them in Poland. You can find them in Russia. You can find them in Singapore.
Wait. What are we talking about? We can find the obelisk that says Atum, who masturbated to start creation of world. His monument is in all these places.
Yes.
Russia. I thought this
Russia.
was Egyptian. It's in Latvia.
In Latvia. Oh, it's definitely in
Latvia.
Latvia. I met some Latvians in my day, brother.
How is that? Continue to read, my brother, because the list is still
Interesting
going. The list is
people.
still
Oh,
going.
yeah.
It's still going.
Okay, it's in Singapore. It's in Sweden.
Sweden.
It's in Switzerland. It's in Syria. It's in Turkey. Believe it or not. It's in Ukraine. It's in the United Kingdom, of course. It's in Vatican City. It's in the United States of America. In numerous places. They won't even tell you all the places in America, but they got some in New York. They got some some over in DC. Oh, you can't forget that. Where else were we recently? Where we saw when we were driving? We were driving towards Mississippi.
Yes.
Let's go right toward Mississippi,
North
and we saw
Mississippi.
one.
This is not.
They don't even list all of them that they got in America because it's a secret for their people.
Yeah.
It's their monument. It's a secret monument where they go and do their things.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
Now, this is the part of the show we're gonna go into. I will call the Hebrew X Files. I'm not gonna call it, I'm not gonna call it something crazy, but it's the Hebrew X Files, right? So we got this information about Atum, right? We realized that the Egyptians stole or took their creation and called it Adam, just like the Greeks took the science, the beginning of creation, and called it Adam. But we know that Adam's name first came from the Most High. The first thing that was ever written from the Enoch, Jubilees, and Yasher. The name has been here as the creator, the son of the Most High, the first son of the Most High before Yahweh Shah was Adam, right? So now we're just showing you a list of all these places that have erected a worship obelisk to the Egyptian god Adam. Their God, the one that they think created everything, not the Most High.
Through masturbation.
Yeah, not the Most High. Not through speaking, not through
Nothing
goodness,
divine.
the firmament, nothing divine. He
Masturbation.
created masturbation through evolution. Who created the scientific aspect of evolution? And we are seeing that it is in the creation of the Egyptian god that they use the theory of evolution.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's put that on the side. Let's just stay with the fact that they have created these obelisks that are worship monuments.
Yes, they are.
In all of these countries. So many in America, they don't even list them. Now, for the X-Files part, now that we got that part together, some of y'all know who Nikola Tesla is, right?
My brother.
I'd rather know where I'm about to go with this here, right? So in our X-Files, we're not gonna call them conspiracy theories, right? I'm gonna call them our X-Files. So Nikola Tesla created many things. I know many of you love the vehicles that are out, but Tesla had this thing about free energy for everybody, using the Earth's natural energy currents called, oh, it's slipping my mind, not the tonic place. I'm gonna remember it as we speak though. The telluric lines, that's them.
Oh, yes.
The telluric lines are the lines throughout all of the land masses across these four corners of this earth. They are energy patterns that run through this earth, right? Through those patterns, our ancient people used to erect or create or form create communities off of these power grid lines that were already there by the Most High. See, it doesn't speak anywhere in Egyptian, dead book, or anything about the telluric energy lines that are already here that we can use right now to power everything. That's what Tesla discovered, that the natural energy in the ground, if you put poles in on these energy lines, that they will static electricity will connect to each other and transfer energy through those capstones. Facts. Nikola Tesla, when he created the same waves that we are talking on right now, he discovered the waves, the radio waves, and the frequencies of radio. He created a large radio thing that he was actually receiving signals from other stars. Yeah, Nikola Tesla was a beast.
Oh, yeah.
They killed him and stole all of his stuff, but that's another story
Yeah.
for another show.
And then they tell you Thomas Edison is the truth.
And then, yeah, and then Thomas Edison appropriated all of his patterns.
He's a liar.
See, people like Nikola Tesla submit their things to the government so that they can patent their stuff. And then people like Einstein work in a patent office, the fake Jew, and then comes out after working there for 5, 10 years, and now he has all of these E equals MC
See,
squared out of
Einstein
nowhere.
is an idiot,
Right.
first off. If
Stop.
you do the research, but you got to do the research first.
You got to do the
You're going to feel
research.
real insulted if you thought he was brilliant up until
Yeah.
now. I'm sorry to break your heart. But he worked in a patent office where all the engineers brought all of their patents.
Now, we would say that doesn't mean that the man wasn't smart and couldn't do it.
Yeah, he was failing everything in school. He's an
But
idiot.
then you look at what he did before.
Yeah, he was an idiot.
He worked for the patent office, didn't invent anything, and in fact, he did submit something to the patent office that was not accepted. Then he went to work there. Then all of a sudden, everything he created got accepted. Oh!
Wonder how that
Wow!
happened.
Einstein, what a guy! You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then his people own all the marketing channels and all the media
So they
channels,
pushed
so
him.
they push their
The
people as the
propaganda.
best candidate.
That's why you think that y'all have the belief that the Khazarian Jewish people are the most intelligent people, along with the Asians, because the Khazarian Jews and the Asians come from the same family.
Ah, you
Genghis
didn't know
Khan conquered Magog in Russia, Asia Minor. Remember?
Same
Remember?
that. Homies.
So when the Jewish Khazarians say that the next thing smart to them is the Chinese, the Mongolians, their family members, what a coinky ding.
Yes.
What a coinky ding, right?
I think we use the word Caucasian every day without really dissecting the term.
Or Caucasian. What
right
does
there, y'all.
Caucasian mean?
It's right there.
Stop looking at the dictionary picture in your mind. What does the words mean? Caucasoid, Caucasus, mountains, Asia. The foot of the Caucasus Mountains where Asia meet, mean that they intersected, the people intersected and created Caucasian.
Very simple stuff, guys. Very simple stuff. We got this.
We got y'all.
We got this, fam.
So, understanding the reason that people purport these people as the highly intellectuals is because the fix is in. And who do they believe in? Because they don't believe in the Most High. The same Jewish people, right? That one, because they got kicked out in 1940 something. They got there through deals and swindling and backstabbing. They were able to get their Israel from us in 1947 with the Balfour Declaration. Then they turned around once they got their money up and sent $20 million and overturned,
Bolshevik.
yeah, in the Bolshevik revolution, where they overthrew the past Khazars that was actually the ones that kicked them out, the past czars, right? And now they got their own ones in there, and Putin is the president of what? The new Russia that the Brooklyn Jews financed. Oh, y'all making the connection here.
Come on.
Make the connection. Make the connection. The Khazarians, which are related to the Mongolians who come from Genghis Khan, who believed in the devil Gog, these same Khazarians that mixed, which are known as Caucasians as well, these Khazarian Jews that were kicked out of Russia, once they got their money up and got Israel, they put all their money together, well not all, put 20 million together and started a revolution back where they came from in their homeland of Russia to overthrow that czar, to put their people in control and power. And now you have Putin, who Trump won't talk nothing against, because who's in Trump's cabinet? The Khazarian.
His wife is Russian. Come
His
on, y'all.
wife is Russian.
Let's work with this. His whole staff was doing business with Russia. You guys laugh about it like, hoo, hoo, hoo.
And you think that they're gonna have a problem? So let's get back to Atum, though, to source information in these X-Files. Tesla. So you got these monoliths with these capstones on them. And if they're on the proper energy grids, they can connect all across the world. Each one of those capstones can connect and send signals and send energy.
Facts.
So there's a whole different grid besides the electrical grid that you're on in America right now. And when you get that electronic pulse that knocks down all of those grids from China, the only free energy is gonna be coming from those capstones. I mean, that's just the X-Files for you, baby. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap a taste with you right now. We just talking. We just letting the Ruach walk with us. We
I'm
just
trying to
talking.
force you left or right.
We just talking.
Just giving you some data.
I mean,
Nikola Tesla did do that, by the way.
Tesla did that.
He did do that.
He did the test and proved from large distances that he can send signals, send energy.
Across like oceans, he was doing this, ladies and gentlemen. And these folks definitely did murk him and take all of his work. Everybody knows that. That's why one of these is not built in Serbia, where the homie's from. Notice Serbia was not on that list. Guess why? They were slaves to the Turkish. Just a little homework,
He was
y'all.
slave to the Turkish. And who again are the Turkish?
Ooh, are we getting back to the root?
To the Dome Jews, the root?
Yes.
So your Sufi Muslims or your Dome Jews, which are Khazarians that renounced crypto Jews that renounced. What does the word crypto mean?
Like hidden.
Hidden Jews.
Why would you need to
Jewish.
hide?
Hidden Jewish. They already stole it. Oh, they got to hide. But these hidden Jewish ones renounced their Jewish Zionistic Zoharian beliefs and said that they were Muslim and created the Sufi line of the Muslim faith.
This is history, not hate speech, ladies and gentlemen. You can look this stuff up.
So what we're saying to you is that though you have all of this stuff going on all around, it all came from one source. It came from one source.
That's it.
And when you look at these sources that are biting the story, that's appropriating the story, and they put their own spin to separate themselves from the source is where you find the lies, and as my man at 432 say, the hijack.
They hijacking it all
Yeah.
and doing a terrible job. Just dirtying up the whole story.
I mean, if y'all don't like history, all us as urban folk, if you don't want to claim Hebrew, we love the game, right? We had a show called The Game. We watch, they got a rapper named The Game. We all about the game. Well, get in this and learn the game. If you ain't about the spiritual aspect, if you ain't about all that, you too caught up in your dogma and you got to stay where you're at for your comfort level. Just research this for the aspect of the game and see what they done did. Then you'll know where they're trying to go.
Yes.
We're going to do some shout outs right quick, man, because we got some people in the building, man. We didn't do shout outs last time.
Hour flew by.
First time in the building. The first one in the building tonight was Yawan. That's my
Yawan.
brother. Yes, Sharonda in the
Sharonda.
building. We got Derek, my brother Shelby in the building.
Derek, what
Aaron
up?
Davis. Tamara, my sister in the building.
T.
Kiara in the building.
What up,
Yes, Che, mommy in the building.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jennings in the building. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. My brother Trip Kill Move that was in that hotel. I hope you feeling some of the things we was talking about tonight, my brother. Marvelous Francis. I like that marvelous. And Berto, my brother Bradford in the building. Rashana Ison. Yes. Makia, Favre McQueen. So happy that y'all in the building tonight. Kelly, Kelly in the building. Hey, love, shalom. Yes, I think that is Annie. What's up, Miss Hills in the building? I think that's Coco in the building. Sadie Cook. Yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Phil, my brother, trying to get some more of that fish. Hey, Dub in the building. Aaron Washington, my brother. Chris in the building. Yes. Stacy, loving this. Yes, Reginald, my brother just checking in. Hey, we got a lot in here tonight, man. All praises to the Most High, man. We have really been getting it in. So what's the theme of our cultural appropriation tonight? Science takes and mimics our scriptures to name everything. Because the Greeks got no imagination. They just copied.
Copycats.
They copycats.
Duplicators, replicators.
Spanish got no. And my Latinos out there that think when I say Spanish, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about the people that inserted themselves into your community. You know what I'm talking about. The colonialists.
You know, the ones that make you think that it's better to be like her.
Yes. And if you out there in Jamaica, out there bleaching your skin,
That must hurt.
do you realize that you're paying to take away what they're spending $1,000 on the stock market to gain?
More.
Melanin at 1,000.
Because they burn in the sun, ladies and gentlemen.
They burn in the sun.
Literally. Ouch.
And what we say, man, and we haven't said this in a while, maybe people may not understand this, but we're not about color here. We don't hate white people. We don't hate.
Never have.
We talk often about us as ourselves getting together, and that means knowledge. We ain't telling you to go and join no picket lines. We ain't telling you to go and do none of that, man. I'm telling you, organize yourself and your mind and stop allowing your default mind. That means what we've been institutionalized to believe since kindergarten, and reinforced by our parents who were institutionalized since kindergarten and their ancestors for the last 300 years. So our default mind is a European mind state. And everything that we try to hold on to, 9 times out of 10, if you go to the source of why you have the thought, you'll find a European design behind it. So what we're saying, man, is period. No hatred for anyone. It is the thirst and the quest for knowledge.
Yes.
And as we express that knowledge and you want to take hold to that as it being a knife or a dagger into your chest, that's for you to deal with, because that is not our intent.
Never
Our
has
intent
been.
is to expose the information for what it is so that you can make a conscious decision.
Yes.
Um,
Knowledge is a bulletproof vest, if
knowledge is-
anything.
Yes.
It's here to protect. It's here to teach. It's here to feed. It's here to just produce a longer, happier, more fulfilled existence with others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are about that unity,
Unity.
with order. We got
Unity
a
with
woke
order.
Caucasians in our circle. They
Yes.
super woke.
Super woke.
Super woke. They're not liberal, on the fence, like, well,
Maybe you shouldn't feel this way. Nah.
No, they're like, wow, that's some serious truth right there. I'm gonna look that up, and then they look it up, and they're like, wow.
And
I
that's the
didn't know
Gentiles.
that.
That's the true Gentiles. And the Most High said that He came so that they will have everlasting life. And I'm not stepping on none of the Most High's people.
No,
None of His people.
we are not here for that.
Don't come over here talking about
We're
that.
here to gather.
You better check your temperature first, partner.
Yeah.
Cause we gangster around here. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. And then we keep in order. And that rah-rah, screaming hatred, man, we will meet you where you are. You dig?
Yeah.
But we would prefer to walk with love, and we do. And we're gonna extend that love over and over again till the Most High says order needs to be established. And however that order needs to be established at that time, it's not up for debate, and it's not to be looked back in hindsight as you went too hard. Yeah. So to wrap up our show tonight, man, because, you know, this was some great information that of how we're showing the basis and the source information. When we look at this conquest of what they knew of the known world at that time. Remember that in history they'll give you those slide things. Oh yeah, he almost conquered the world, the known world. What is the known world? That means y'all nothing about the Western Hemisphere is what they mean. Okay?
They come to our land.
So Genghis Khan, don't look at he was all the way over here like he went through this. No. Genghis Khan was in a specific area, large mass area, but a specific area called Gog and Magog, or Tubal and Magog. All right? So Magog, Russia, Tubal, and Asia, all of that, he conquered and had over 100 concubines or raped, had children, over 100 in each village and town he went to.
The bloodline.
The bloodline.
That's how important the bloodline is, y'all. That's why we got to stay on top of that bloodline.
So if these people that did not believe in the Most High and believe in a demonic force, does it matter that centuries later they created something that shows like it has some merit? Or there's some things that you can identify with? Does that make it all right that that's the source of who they are? Or would you rather go to something that was the source was good and try and help the people that have lost their way and go back to that source so that that can be what it was supposed to be, what it was created to be? Instead of trying to take something that was created in evil and try and make it good for you.
Ooh, that's gonna get murky.
You gotta look at it that way. You gotta look at it that way. Something that was created out of evil. Yes, the Most High can do all great things and He can change all things. But He has not changed that. Russia and China is still a godless place. No, I'm sorry, they do have God. It is without the Most High. It's without the Ashah. It's without Ashaya, Ashur, Ashaya. Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya. It is without Him. It has some deities, but it does not have the Most High. So whatever comes out of that place, whatever spirituality that comes from the creation through masturbation,
Not for me, for sure. Not for us.
and you want me to think about it in a carnal man's mind. I'm supposed to take this God figure and understand it in my human mind that it did something before it became its omnipotent deity. In its desire to create the first thing, it masturbated to create it.
And it created humans from tears of joy.
From tears of joy is what it created humans out of.
Friends, family. Let's work with that.
So let's everyone get back to source.
Yeah.
And stop letting people appropriate you and then turn around and tell you that they got something for you that's going to help you connect to yourself in the names that they create, in the gods that they create. Search for your own. Because remember, these erected monuments tells you who this country is bowing to and who it believes in.
Come on, y'all.
Forget the Christian, Judeo-Christian,
Get
forget
to the
them names.
monuments.
What has been erected in stone that's supposed to last to the end of time?
Obelisk.
The obelisk. And saying in that obelisk that this region, this continent, this place bowed and worshipped Atum, A-T-U-M,
Egyptian.
an Egyptian god
Masturbated
that
everything into
masturbated
existence.
to create existence.
Man.
And now they have these obelisks that are energy centers. They don't say that Atum created those telluric lines, those energy patterns across the world. They don't have that nowhere in the story. But yet you're building your...
Because they chase around the holy people. They chase around the people that have the covenant. They chase around the people, see where they are. Oh, they're over there. That must be where it is.
What they
Let's
doing?
kill them
What
off.
they doing? Send
and
over a
take
pretty
the
female
land.
to one of them.
Yeah.
Send a pretty female. Get her to ask the priest something. Find out what they're talking about. Figure out what they do.
They say that all these spiritual religious things are so male driven.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's the propaganda they give you. That's why they serving you the Tao and the Tao, or Mother Earth, or Mother Africa, or any Xenia. I mean, just don't tell me that it is a male book without giving me a scripture that says man does not mean woman. That does not mean one in the eye of the Most High. Show me in that scripture.
It's a blanket term for humanity.
Yes.
Let's grow up, ladies and gentlemen. You can't deny the truth.
Yeah.
You could.
We're
Just
gonna
won't
play.
get you anywhere.
Yeah, we really won't get you anywhere. You know, it'll.
Follow no one.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna. That's what I was gonna. I was just thinking now. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, that one.
You know.
We got a song for y'all tonight. Jan Marie, I'm glad you checked in. Ronnie, I'm glad you checked in. Selwyn, my brother. Big Chief Black in the
Big Chief
building.
Black.
Candace in the building. We got a song for y'all, man. And we're going to get up out of here. Follow no one.
I follow no one.
Care for me. When it comes to you, to the Most High, I got
People think I joined the cult, they think I'm losing.
think I joined the cult, think I'm losing.
Bibles, but they Bibles, they
You're not losing your
They
Bible.
go to church every Sunday, but look, it's
Useless.
I read the scriptures and they understand too. They tell me, they say pray to
Jesus.
but he can't peace. They claim to have wisdom, but they just all sheep.
Oh, sheep.
That's my wisdom.
Wow.
He's all
Ruach
I need.
HaKodesh.
Take care of me. Higher. 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 Higher.
Hebrew state of being, a state of being is everything. It's not just a consciousness. It's not just a chakra. It's the entire temple, the entire embodiment. It is the seeking, it's the searching. Thou rod and thou staff. Bring you into the bond. Your struggle, your walk is gonna be painful. The glory is afterwards. Have the victory. Is it what that was? Stay up in them. Every day is the most high day. Every day is the man. What your leader, your elder, anyone that has to say that cannot show us in scripture what we are doing wrong.
It ain't scripted lip, right, Peasy?
Let it come to me. I'm not supposed to be with Hotel. Show me. Show me. I'm supposed to be a more. Show me. You show me that the Phoenicians didn't turn from the Most High. Show me they didn't create the color purple royalty for us and turn their back because they got in with the Catholics, the Visigoths, and the Roman Empire. Was not a devout Catholic. Show me where she did not leave all of her money to the Catholic, the Roman Empire. Show me. Show me that China is not demonic. Show me they're not demonic. Demonic. What are the fruits of their labor? What is the fruit of your labor? Man, your blessings come from the fruits of your labor.
And you will know them by their fruits. You will know
them by their fruits.
What are they producing? Poison to take Israel down.
Hey, Wanda Wallace. I'm not sure. Announcement. It's a bit bittersweet, man. This Friday will be our last Shabbat broadcast from WBOK.
For a while. You never know. It might switch up.
We're talking about cultural appropriation. At this moment, there are 3 or more bids to purchase the vision in the city. That one is up for bid, and we don't know who's going to purchase it. So we have been informed by the general manager that this will be our last show, a self-contained unit. We don't have to use anyone, any of their administrators or technical people to broadcast. Most times, he gets you ready. You never know broadcast, and we're gonna do we're gonna hijack the spot. Keep that between us. We know they ain't watching, so instead next week of us starting at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., we start at 7.
Whoa!
Since we're in the 7th ward, since we're across from that Starless Park, we gonna run at 7.
Yeah.
We gonna go a 2-hour show. Shabbat. Yes.
Yeah.
We gonna go in 2 hours, 7 tracks, a little shindig. You know what I'm saying? Get all our peoples in there. Big Chief Black, if you are able.
Ooh,
Chief,
that was on my heart, Big Chief. If
Big
possible.
Jeremy Layson, my brother. If man, we might even be able to get our brother Shaka to come through and talk about his trip to Manasseh, to Messiah, to the tribe of Manasseh, right? No,
yes,
not Manasseh, the tribe of Messiah.
Yes.
Yeah, not Manasseh from the 12 tribes, but the Messiah tribe in Africa, where he brought black man. Hopefully they might be watching now. We don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So all shouts out. So we're gonna do this thing on Friday. our last Shabbat, you know, and we're gonna do it right, you know. So if y'all got any suggestions that y'all want for the last show, you know, we're gonna put that out right now. You can send out any DMs if y'all got any suggestions or something y'all want us to talk about on this Friday, since we're gonna do a 2-hour show. We don't have a plan yet of what that lesson is gonna be. So since you know, festivity, you know, in a festive moment, you know, saying a feast type moment. Yeah, let us know any ideas that you guys got for us to talk about, and you know, we got some time to research it. We'll go ahead and make sure that is part of our Shabbat lesson.
Yes, yes.
So 7 to 9 p.m. We filming, we eating, we talking, we Shabbat, and we gonna close down WBOK in Hebrew fashion. Shalom, you heard me?
They go round table.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all. Shalom. The battery's going dead. Close.